What's going on, everybody? If you are just clicking in, this is the comic experience, and you are listening to the Fulcrum Report. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Okay.
You stole my pun for the week.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's the 22nd episode of the Fulcrum Report. Before we start, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification so you know when our videos are coming out, and also comment below. We're constantly bringing up awesome topics and talking with you guys, and we want to hear what you have to say, so get down there. But yeah, Fulcrum Report 22. Cool. So yeah, it's been a year since The Last Jedi came out. Fans are still pretty raging. So I'm going to introduce all you guys, and then I'm going to want you to give me your favorite Last Jedi moment and your least favorite Last Jedi moment. So we're going to actually start with the least favorite Last Jedi moments, because I feel like we have more of those. But okay, cool. So first off, we have the co-host and editor and director of our show, Gilbert. What's going on, Gilbs?
What's up, guys? Episode 22. I feel like our podcast is just getting old. It's just getting way too old. But my least favorite Last Jedi moment by far, and I think it's a lot of people's least favorite, is when Rose crashed into his speeder thing.
Saving what we love.
He was going to sacrifice himself. Yeah, that whole speech after it, I'm just like, I hope you both die. I want you both. I want Kylo Ren to just come down there and chop both your heads off.
Right, cringe meter on 11 for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, and then give me your favorite Last Jedi moment, because there's some cool moments in it.
Oh, it's absolutely the opening one where what's his name, Poe Dameron, where he's in there. He's just like, I have a message for General Hux.
Oh my god!
I have a message for General Hux from his mother. I'm just like, that whole thing is just wonderful. I love it.
Right on, cool. So you actually, I know a lot of fans had an issue with it. Me, it was kind of weird when I saw it the first time, but seeing it 100 times now, like, I'm fine with it. And so that's funny that's one of your favorites. Yeah, first time I looked at all my friends when I saw that, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? But that's cool. Thanks, Gilbs. And it's great to have you back.
Yep.
We shall go back to Machinima Man in the UK, the two-time Fulcrum champion. What's going on, Machinima Man?
Hello, thank you for having the two-time back-to-back World Fulcrum Report champion.
You guys got to knock. You guys got to knock this guy down. His head's getting a little too.
Two-time back-to-back just has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. No, absolutely. So, go for it.
22 episodes. We're reaching quarter age. I hope we don't have a quarter-life crisis on the Fulcrum Report. But
I finally remembered. I'll make sure to post a picture for you guys. But for all you listening at home, I'm so dedicated to this show and the Fulcrum character itself. I went and got a Fulcrum tattoo right on my forearm, so or right on my wrist. So I'm going all out for the show. I expect you all to have your logos by next week.
Lower back for me.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, Marshall, do you want to go ahead and give me your favorite Last Jedi moment and your least favorite Last Jedi, or vice versa? But go for it.
I guess because Gilbert already said the Rose thing, I'll probably go with the Superman Princess Leia moment.
Oh, okay, go for it. Yeah, why did that bother you? Was it just off-putting?
Yeah, me and everyone in the cinema just turned around and looked at each other all in the same way. Like, is this happening?
I thought it was beautiful. But yeah, no, continue.
Yeah, favorite moment?
When it ended?
Probably the credits, yeah. Probably the fight between Rey, when Kylo and Rey team up to fight Snoke's guards. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I remember everybody whistling and cheering during that scene in the theater, so that was pretty cool. Okay, cool. Harrison, what's going on? We have Harrison Unchained in the UK. What's going on, Harrison?
Hey, how are you?
How are you doing, sir? It's great to have you back.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, yeah. I feel that Marshall's worry about a quarter-life crisis is speeding towards us. Because you're about to ask me something, and my answer's going to be weird.
Okay, so yeah, no, go for it. Give me your least favorite Last Jedi moment.
I mean, so far it's right now, because I've managed 22 episodes of this podcast without admitting I haven't seen The Last Jedi.
Are you serious?
Wow.
What?
Whoa!
There's a Fulcrum fun fact for you.
How have you made it 22 episodes?
I don't know, man.
Netflix.
I don't know.
You have to pay to watch
We've been
it.
together for 22 episodes, and you just let me know you were a virgin.
You've done so well going around it, though.
Wow.
They asked me to be on a Star Wars podcast, and I just went with it.
So go for it, sir. Tell me, so why haven't you seen it? You're on a Star Wars podcast now, and we talk so much.
Yeah,
I expect you to see it by next week now that you've divulged.
Yeah,
that.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So look forward to that next week. You can get my raw reaction of The Last Jedi.
I feel like I'm known as serial killer this whole time, and I just found out like you're huge stars.
I don't even know.
So the week 22 quiz question, I've been so busy I haven't even got it up online. We're gonna get back to this topic later, but the internet's in quite outrage over Sonic. You know. The internet seemed to be pretty happy with Detective Pikachu. They got something that they kind of dug. And then literally a couple weeks later, we get Sonic and everybody's hating on just everything about it. So the quiz question for this week is, what character would Hollywood just not be able to get right? And tell me why. Tell me how they would just screw it up completely. And so I want you to peer into the future because it... And I guess if you want to give like a video game franchise or a character, but I just also heard about like Resident Evil and how the reboot isn't going to be like the video games again. So I'm like, so for the quiz question this week, I want you guys to disappoint me and tell me the live action version of my childhood is going to be horrible. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get on to the show. Oh my God. Let's talk. Something huge came out last night, and then Harrison, something in the UK that we don't have over here came out for you guys. So we'll talk about both those. But me and Gilbert saw. What did we see last night, Gilbert?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the freaking greatest Spider-Man movie ever made.
Yeah. But yeah, Gilbert. Oh my God, great. So where are we ranking this on? Is this the greatest superhero movie to like ever exist?
Well, I don't know about the greatest. That still might be Infinity War,
right?
But I'm thinking that this is a close second. This is definitely be a close second, but it definitely takes the number one spot as the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
Oh my God,
like by a wide margin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think and we can always just separate. This could be the best animated, whatever, but. I think for Infinity War, it was one of the greatest for spectacle reasons. Just to see. I have the what am I have right here sitting here? I have the Marvel 2015 Secret Wars volume sitting on my desk right here, and to basically have Infinity War be that. I'm reading. I can flip through these pages and we basically got an event comic movie. So that's why Infinity War was amazing. But story-wise and art-wise and music-wise, and I'm normally not down for movies cashing in on the hot themes of the year, but they pulled it together without it not being too much in your face. And I'm not even super into hip-hop, and man, I'm I need to go find some more of this music. I'm down. What are your thoughts, Gilbs?
Well, the music, I mean, I'm a scrawny little white boy, so
exactly,
I'm not super into rap or anything or hip hop or anything like that. So, but I mean, it was all right music, and I thought it was kind of funny that the music he would listen to relax and stuff like that, and how that plays into the movie later when he's stuck to the wall, and he's like, dude, what do you do to relax? You need to chill, and he starts just singing the song. I thought that was
really unique too, something that we've never seen a Spider-Man do. I mean, I was reading some reviews and they were saying that the composer picked music and you can spread this across the entire movie, but themes that a modern day Spider-Man would be going through. Because when we got the original Peter Parker story from the 60s, and that was and he's evolved throughout the time, but it's, that's when we got his original story. So they wanted to write Miles Morales as Spider-Man today.
Yeah. As a modern 2018 kid who's like, yeah,
And it was amazing.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, it was great. It was really great, and really watching all of them, like watching the old white fat Peter Parker, and then
And
like
the stories, and
young
they're all
mixed
interesting. All the
yeah, like yeah. Then you have Gwen Stacy. Then you have like the Peter Parker from Spider-Man Noir. Then you have Peter Porker. Like the whole thing, like everything about that was awesome. And watching all the different stories unfold was
Penny
great.
Parker and the radioactive spider that powers her mech psychically.
Yeah, powers her like robot suit.
Oh my god, it's too cool. Do you guys, Marshall? We haven't heard from you in a while. Do you have any questions for Into the Spider-Verse, or that we're not going to spoil anything for all that is brand new, fresh out. So I don't want to spoil anything. But you got any questions for us?
Yeah, I guess it could be answered with a simple yes or no to avoid spoilers. But are there any cameos?
Oh yeah,
like Tobey Maguire.
Oh, I don't know about that, but there's the one like one of the obvious cameos, and it's really it has a really funny part in the movie, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, and there's homages to classic Spider-Man movies too, because you're supposed to basically of like, you just kind of assume. I mean, this is a different universe than the Raimi movies, but you kind of assume that like this is the Spider-Man.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, right? So basically the Spider-Man in the beginning of the movie is basically like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And they go through the flashbacks, and then you get Miles Morales. And I didn't realize how much of like an origin story this movie would also be, but like not a boring origin story. Just like something unique and fresh.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna say that the Miles Morales is like the ultimate verse.
Yeah,
and I think that the old Peter Parker that we see, like the that's supposed to be his mentor. I think that's the Raimi Spider-Man.
I'm down. Yeah, we could just write this.
which is why he became all washed up and fat. Is because no one cares about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Right. Oh my God, and Nicolas Cage Spider-Man.
Dude.
Wow.
What was my favorite line of the movie? Sometimes I let a match burn down to my fingers so I can feel something, anything.
Yeah, he's just all broody. He's like, it's like a bad version of Batman.
I love it. It's like Lego Batman, but Nicolas Cage. Harrison, you got it.
It's wonderful.
Any questions for us? We definitely have some
stuff that wouldn't be spoiler town. Yeah, even asking you like what villains turn up would be too spoiler.
I think we can talk about some of those, right, Gilbs? Like Scorpion, he was in the commercial. I seen Scorpion in the commercials. He was there. Kingpin was freaking amazing and scary as hell.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Say, like I don't think we should talk about the other one that shows up.
I won't. Yeah, absolutely not. But King.
But yeah, Scorpion shows up in there.
Oh, Prowler.
Let me
Prowler
see here.
is definitely public.
Yeah, Prowler shows up.
Public, no.
I mean, it was public. It was in the trailer that Green Goblin shows up.
Is that Green Goblin?
But only for like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's only fighting for like a minute, so it's.
And it's like the ultimate verse Green Goblin also, where he's like more
that's
dragon-like.
Yeah.
It's
really cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. And there's definitely some fun moments. It's almost, I know why they picked the Lego guys too, because they just have such like attention to detail when it comes to making homages and references, and it was off the hook. 10 out of 10 for me, for sure.
Do you guys think there'll be more of these movies? Or do you think we'll go and like they'll run alongside the Marvel stuff?
I think so, because of the end credits scene that they put in there. I'm not going to spoil what they put in there, but with the end credits scene that they put, I definitely think they're going to make a sequel. And then also just with the ending scene of it, he's laying in his bed and he, like a portal opens, and this is kind of a spoiler, but not really, because it's just like a portal opens and you hear Gwen Stacy's voice saying, "Hey, what's up?" And he's all like happy. He like opens his eyes and he's all happy to see her. So it kind of assumes that they're going to be opening a portal again. They're going to be meeting up again for another Spider-Verse thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
maybe
slightly worrying,
Spider-Geddon
because
or something
that's
like that.
the same ending as the Super Mario Brothers movie.
We don't talk about that.
I actually haven't seen that one. I've been on this.
All the secrets are coming out today.
I recommend it. I love that movie.
So Harrison, Aquaman. I'm stoked to see it. That's what I'm gonna see next weekend. Gilbert, are you gonna go check that one out? And Marshall?
Yeah, I'm supposed to go on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going Wednesday.
Cool. I'm gonna attempt to see opening night, but I don't. It depends on how tired I am. It was a lot different when I was 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aquaman. Give me your highs, give me some lows, tell me what you thought about it, and then if you guys have any questions for Harrison.
Okay, yeah. Aquaman, the movie. I think I said this before we started recording. If you like Aquaman, if you have ever been a fan of Aquaman, you will like this movie. I almost guarantee it. One of the great things about the film is that it's really not scared to like just go whole hog for it. So when you're in Atlantis, it's all the crazy Atlantis stuff that's ever been in the comic books. You know, so they're riding around on giant seahorses. There is a point where a woman is wearing a dress made out of jellyfish. There's a whole thing. There's like some of the stuff with fish is
that sounds
scientifically.
So cool.
It is really cool. It just like it's so bright and technicolor, and it's kind of awesome. You know, it does like for underwater what like things like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff was doing for space. You know, where they just went kind of high camp with it, and it's all like.
I've also heard
really
like
fantasy.
people correlate it with like Lord of the Rings, like an underwater type Lord of the Rings movie. Is that what we?
That's a really good way of thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay,
like,
cool.
The Atlanteans are basically they are characters from Lord of the Rings and they act like it. There's a really weird moment when like there's a bunch of them having a meeting. They all converge somewhere to talk, and they're all riding sharks. And like it's kind of cool.
Amazing.
It is kind of amazing, but like especially when you've seen any documentary about sharks, and there's that whole thing about how sharks cannot stay still. So like, like physically sharks can't, but they're all just like hanging out, just like in one place, and like all of those sharks are currently dying.
And the Hodo maneuver couldn't ever happen either because of light speed and no, shut up, Harrison. No, kidding.
No, and like there are some weird bits. There's a bit where like right at the beginning where it's showing Aquaman first ever realizing he can talk to fish, and there's a bit where he goes to an aquarium, and like some bullies like are kind of mean to him, and so.
That seemed very Harry Potter to me too. Was that like
it is? Yeah, it is very
This sounds so cool.
He like the way he gets them is then like because they're bullying him, a great white shark like starts bumping up against the glass of the tank, and again like I was watching like this is kind of cool, but no aquarium in the world would have a thing full of fish and they go drop a great white in there. That'll just be fine.
Right.
That'll be perfectly safe. But like in terms of the movie, it's really good. Like I said, the stuff they do underwater is brilliant. To be honest, the CGI is possibly, if you don't like it, if you have a problem with like massive CGI, you will have a problem with this movie because it's it's everywhere. Like especially underwater. Of course, it's everywhere underwater, and it makes sense. But even some stuff, so like when people are standing still. It's fine. The only CGI on them then is like their hair's a bit wavy. But then as soon as they like move, they all like float away, and they all tend to be replaced. Suddenly that they're a real person, and then they become a 3D model as they swim away or something. It looks really just slightly off.
You also have to remember that not everybody can do what Marvel and Disney can do.
Well, and I think also with this movie, it's just got a thing of because like. Almost like 70% of the movie is CGI. It's like they clearly had a huge budget, but even that had to stretch across an awful lot. So you are going to see some weird moments. The bits that I dislike the most with it are there are a couple of things where they're on dry land and they still use the CGI. So there is a dock. There is a particular dock that is used in the movie a lot, and every time they're on it, it is either sunrise or sunset. And the fake
super
sea, and it's just like it's really obvious, and it just looks real. It looks like a set from The Young and the Restless. Like it looks like your grandma's stories are on, and then they're saying a tearful goodbye. But to be honest, most of it works. The only thing I wish is I wish there was more stuff underwater. It's a lot of floating heads because like even though like they're wearing physical costumes. They then had to lay CGI onto those costumes for them to react properly in the water. But like they do some really cool stuff. There was a fight scene at one point in the movie between like all four kingdoms of Atlantis. So that's like the two humanoid-looking kingdoms, and then the ones that are just fish people, and the ones that are crab people. And there are giant crabs going around. There are huge monsters, these huge giant submarines in the shape of manta rays, and it's brilliant. They really go all out. The problem with it is that they don't do enough of it for my liking, because a lot of the rest of the action in the movie is the Power Rangers. Like, they just fight Power Rangers all the time. I would say, yeah, I'd say like a 6.5 out of 10, something like that, because it's definitely one of the best. Because again, I think it's. I mean, I recently rewatched Batman vs Superman, and I cannot tell you how much better this is compared to that. It's so much better.
If it's not a spoiler, I saw that in the credits. I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about Willem Dafoe being in the movie. What is his role?
Oh no!
Because I'm actually that kind of piques my interest.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe is in this movie. Unfortunately, I think he's really miscast. Really? Yeah. So Willem Dafoe, his role is he is basically. This isn't much of a spoiler, but throughout the movie, they talk about how Aquaman learnt how to be Aquaman. Because we already know the character, so they have to do a lot of flashbacks to sort of give a story. And Willem Dafoe was the guy who taught him how to be Aquaman, basically. Like he's the Atlantean who trained him and all this lot. So he's supposed to be like a really kind of kind figure, and he is in the way he acts. But Willem Dafoe is a creepy guy. Like I love him as an actor, but he works best when he's weird. So him being really sympathetic is a bit odd. And frankly, the movie doesn't give him much to do.
Cool. So, Marshall, what were some of your questions for Harrison on the Aquaman movie?
Is there anything you'd like the credits to hint at a sequel or what's coming next for DC?
Yes. Yeah, there definitely is.
How many of them are there?
There's only one. It comes really early on in the credits, so they basically they do the main cast. You then get a mid-credits sequence, and then it's just basic credits until the end. So you don't have to stay right until the end.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, and that sets up what the future of the DC universe, or more Aquaman sequel?
It sets up more Aquaman. And this is the point where we want to decide how much of a spoiler and things are. And basically, do you guys want to hear a little bit about Black Manta?
I do kind of want to hear just a tad. Yeah, don't spoil too much, but
yes.
I definitely want to hear about him because it seems like they got that character right.
Right. Certain things I'll tell you about Black Manta. One of them is that if you are looking forward to Black Manta, you're probably going to be disappointed because he's barely in the movie.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's one of those characters?
Yeah. He's not in the movie much. There is a really stupid sequence that's kind of funny with him where he's building his Black Manta suit. And look forward to that. And once he has built the Black Manta suit, he is the most Power Rangers thing of them all. Like, it's a bit of a problem because
you're talking to a guy that literally, Gilbert, you sent me that thing, and I almost cry every time I hear the Power Ranger theme song. So every time you mention things being compared to Power Rangers, that's a good thing, Harrison, for me.
Yeah. It depends how you feel.
I can't get enough of that stuff. Yeah.
Because he shows up when he's got the helmet and everything, and it looks like Reese Repulsa is about to turn him 30 foot high. I kept waiting for him. Oh no, I have grown, and but
you'll never stop me now.
Yeah. So I won't say more for now. But I want to talk to you guys, perhaps off air, once you guys have seen the movie, because what they do to him's a bit weird.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. And then my last question is, I know this is a mostly contained movie. Is there a glimmer of hope that this is still connected to a bigger DC universe, just not so in your face?
It is, but it's connected in the same way that the Marvel Netflix shows are. So it gets referenced. There's a bit where someone is talking to him and he goes, "You defeated Steppenwolf." But that's kind of it. That's kind of the only connection we're given.
Okay, so almost more like Phase 2 Marvel, where you get name drops in like Iron Man 3 and like a Thor: The Dark World like name drop here and there, but no big real crossover stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
nothing huge. There's some fun stuff that they do where like they acknowledge like right at the beginning of the movie that people know who Aquaman is. And like hashtag Aquaman is already trending on Instagram and stuff like that. So that's quite fun, and they definitely suggest a bigger world, but the story really keeps to itself.
Last question: What? How does he look in the Aquaman, like official Aquaman suit? Because I keep seeing him on posters, and I'm like just really not digging it, and it makes me sad because I finally get a comic accurate costume, and it looks like, oh my god.
Yeah, I it's not that bad, but it isn't good.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't wear it for a lot of the movie. It comes in right at the very end. And the rest of it, is just Jason Momoa. Like, a lot of the movie looks like Jason Momoa didn't have a costume. Like, has anyone noticed how much Jason Momoa looks like a professional wrestler? Like, cause I kept going through the whole thing, and I kept thinking, like, maybe he was a wrestler.
Kinda, yeah.
No. And he doesn't seem to have been, but he looks like someone you'd cast as Triple H now. But yeah, there's a whole section where they go to the desert of all Aquaman goes to the desert in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where he's just wandering around, and it really looks like he turned up to set, and they went, "That'll do."
Okay, cool. So we'll check it out next week. And then last thing, and then and then we'll save it all till next week when we all see it. But I noticed that there's watching the trailer, I saw that there are a tad couple connections to like Black Panther-esque storylines.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, ew. And does it feel very derivative of it, or?
Yeah,
Oh
no.
you might want to cut these details out.
That's worrying.
But like the first scenes that Black Manta is in, it looks like whoever was writing this script just got a word version of the Black Panther script, just went find and replace Panther with Manta, and that was it.
Oh no.
But
okay, we'll see.
Oh my lord.
Because I was afraid of that. Okay, we'll save it for next week. That sounds cool, though. Thank you, Harrison. Okay, let's get on to our last topic of the week, and then I'll tie back into our quiz question. We have the new Sonic image. I do want to say, so IGN this week released the image poster, which is I hate the lingo of the modern era. It's like an image poster, but it's basically like a teaser. And I gotta admit, I was excited when I saw the streak and then Sonic running through the bling 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 bling. I was like, is this happening, yo? Is this you're getting my nostalgia strings, And then all of a sudden, you get Sonic fucking. Oh my god, what the hell? He just looks weird, and we don't have 100% face reveal yet. There is that leaked image with Chris Pratt, but I guess that was early concept images also, so we don't have an official yet, but it's looking wrong. It's so easy, and they just can't get it right. I'm outraged. Let's start with you, Marshall. What the H?
I mean, those legs though. It's one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen on the internet, and that's saying something.
Have you seen the leg memes? So apparently, people cut out the legs and just kind of stick them everywhere.
Yeah, that's been good fun. But I don't think the poster with him and Chris Pratt is real.
So somebody said that it's basically it was a concept promotion image. So that was kind of what Sonic is supposed to look like basically, and then Chris Pratt's just there as a stock image of a famous
I was gonna
actor.
say because it looks like
that's why it kind of looks like photoshopped in. Yeah. So if that's what a lot of the sources are saying. So, but do you want to at least? Yeah, he seems to basically match the image though, right? That fake one, or I mean we'll call it the fake one until it's real.
I don't know. I don't know if Chris Pratt would do that film. I mean,
I don't think he is actually. It sounds like they said Jim Carrey is going to be Dr. Robotnik.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Which,
down on
I don't know.
IMDb. IMDb says that he's Dr. Robotnik, and Chris Pratt is nowhere to be seen in this cast.
Jim Carrey's whatever's going on with him nowadays. But I was just watching The Grinch, and like I also love him as like the Riddler, and I think that dude's like one of the most underrated actors of all time. So like I'm stoked to see him possibly pull out a interesting take on Doctor
Jim Carrey.
I know.
I think that.
But the Grinch is like so good. It's a masterpiece. Go back and watch it, everybody. In my opinion, like
I think the
Ron
protagonist
Howard.
should be the king of bad films, Mr. Adam Sandler.
Oh God.
It's right up his alley, you know. He done Pixels. He should do the Sonic movie.
No,
Oh
and
God,
what's
no.
his and Kevin James. We need Kevin
Rob
James.
Schneider as well. Just get
Oh, what?
all of his friends.
Well, Kevin James as Tails.
Sonic, you can do it.
Yeah.
Look at Rob Schneider.
I noticed something too, because what kind of got me outraged, they had the breakdown, and I understand people getting upset and Sonic is fur and blah 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 blah. The silhouette looks whatever, the legs are whatever. I heard two things that kind of upset me, and it's like it sounds like they're almost purposely going out of their way to upset fans. First of all, I know it's a small detail, but if you're like you were doing a rendition of this character, Sonic's shoes have like a Velcro strap normally, like, and anytime you ever see him, he has the strap.
Yeah.
This Sonic specifically has shoelaces. And it's like where you purposely go. And then also with Sonic's eyes,
The shoes are wrong. You're ruining the character.
No, but also with
Product placement for Converse.
with the eyes. You get the cool little like ring charm, I guess, on the shoelace. But and then also Sonic's eyes. I listened to like a review, some interview. They interviewed the guys that were making this when they released the teaser image. I guess that they all decided that this Sonic will have two separate eyes compared to Sonic's like Una eye, kind of like. I don't know if you guys know.
I
what
mean, I know that would, but that would look kind of weird, wouldn't it, to have his like weird little eyebrow thing?
I don't know, but could you do it too? Like, I don't know, but like,
Would you even want to?
everybody at Sonic, and I believe who's making this movie? Is it Warner?
I think so. Yeah.
It's the guys from the Fast and the Furious. And the Fast and Furious guys are making it. It just sounds so weird.
Of course. Why
But anyways,
be?
everybody, right? Gilbert, what are your thoughts on this? Like, why can't they seem to just get it right? Like, is it so hard to make a Sonic movie? It's
I
not
think
hard.
it is. I mean, honestly, it kind of, unless you're talking about making a Sonic, like a CGI Sonic movie or like a cartoon Sonic movie kind of thing like that. If you're talking about putting him into a live action with human beings and stuff, like that only works in cartoons. Like, does anyone remember watching Sonic X, that old cartoon? From like the 2000s
from Fox.
Yeah. I mean, it was that was one of the few things of Sonic that was actually really good, at least in my opinion. And
oh, that theme song. Gotta go faster, 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 faster.
hey, you know what? Not everything about that was perfect, but it was still really good.
Yeah. No, I dug that show right along
But
with
yeah,
Kirby.
I mean, like that's the only way that really works is if you do that, if you make it cartoon. Like otherwise, Sonic dealing with human beings and stuff like that, it doesn't work.
I don't really want anything a part of it, but I'm gonna like possibly watch it for meme purposes.
Like what would Knuckles even look like? I don't even think I even want to know.
What worries me is the fact, like, I'm looking at it on IMDb, and like all the cast, none of them.
Yeah, who? Yeah, go for the cast, by the way, because I'm drawing a bit of a blank.
So we've got like Jim Carrey is their big name for Robotnik.
Okay.
The guy playing Sonic is Ben Schwartz, who does a lot of animation, and the only thing that I like can think of who he did was he was Rabitowitz in oh god, what's it called? BoJack Horseman.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that
Yeah,
okay,
so he's kind of like, you know, I'm particularly upset that it's not Jaleel White, but oh well. Like, but the thing is, like all because it gives the cast and it gives the name of their characters, and none of them are Sonic characters, and like except for Jim Carrey.
Right. No. So the story. Yeah. So the story basically is, which is gonna piss people off again. the reason why Sonic looks like this is because this is Sonic going from his world into our world, and I don't know if that's
so
what
he's going from like cartoon Mobius to the normal real like Earth.
Like
No,
that
that's
one
so
tree
lame.
house.
I
want to
see real life
when Homer ended up in the real world.
Yeah. Still, though, that's really weird.
Now, would you have guys gone and seen like a true Sonic movie where like the world kind of looks like Sonic, and I don't know, like you get the ramps and stuff?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
To be honest, I would have, because like
go more for that's I kind of want that.
and I actually like there have been some good adaptations. So there was.
I feel like the best stuff is when you lean the hardest into it. I mean, Spider-Man, they went so hard into just Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the second TV adaptation of Sonic. So there was the first one with Jaleel White, and then Jaleel White came back for another one where they went really dark with it, and it was about the Mobius uprising against Dr. Robotnik, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then you had Sonic Underground, and it all fell apart, but we'll ignore that. And even the Sonic Boom cartoon they did was kind of cool because like the writing was quite funny. I don't understand.
That would just made them look weird though. Like I didn't like the character models on that Sonic Boom.
I know, and then I just saw it on like a top 10 worst like game because they made a game. That's when you know your franchise is done. When a video game is made into a show for the 18th time, and then they make a video game based on that show. That's when you know it's done. Just stop.
I mean, the Sonic games peaked at Shadow the Hedgehog. That was by far the greatest Sonic game.
It wasn't even about Sonic. Shadow the Hedgehog being the best Sonic
Fulcrum
game.
Fight number 2.
What is wrong with you?
I loved Shadow the Hedgehog.
I really kind of dig Shadow also.
What?
So let's move on to our quiz question for this week. We're having quite a blast, but we got to move on. We just got done talking about I can't even remember how I phrased the quiz question. Basically, tell me what Hollywood just wouldn't be able to get right and how they would totally screw it up. So we're going to start with you, Gilbert.
Oh, this one's easy. It's obvious. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
Like that
no,
dude
because
with
I'm
his
kind of
ridiculous
waiting for
giant
that
hair with the spikes and the pink and all that. Like that. There's that alone. The hair alone makes it to where there's no freaking way they would be able to get that right. Because
would it
people
be
would
like Dragon
what
Ball
the heck?
Evolution type?
Exactly.
So tell me who's playing Yugimoto, and how is Yugi coming to our real world? What's happening?
No, I want it to be a live action. I want to be like full on live action. Everyone walking around with playing duel monsters. Like it's a real thing. Like it's a whole like major thing. Like I'm gonna give that one to Benedict Cumberbatch or to Benny Cumberbatch.
Marshall, get on it. I want to see Benedict Cumberbatch with Yugi's hair by the end of that.
I've made a special Benedict meme this week.
Oh, perfect.
Oh boy,
the Cumberbatch of the week. Okay, so and I could totally see them screwing it up. How would they mess up the monsters, Gilbert? So let's see, like Dark Magician, and how would they mess up like the Blue Eyes White
Basically,
Dragon?
I'm thinking this movie would end up being like kind of like Green Lantern in style. So yeah, all right. So what I want to do is I want to have the whole movie be in CGI, except for the characters walking around the world. Like even when they're not dueling or just when they're walking in their normal world, I want the whole movie to be CGI.
Like Ready Player One level.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just walking around, like those city or whatever I think it's called Domino or whatever their city they're in. I want it all to be CGI and just like the buildings are obviously fake.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'm down. And then Yugi's actually like a fond. Yu-Gi-Oh's a fond memory from my childhood, so I would love to see a studio destroy it. Thank you, Gilbert. Marshall. What movie can Hollywood just go ahead and destroy my childhood for?
Well, a game that is beloved by everyone who plays games, Pac-Man. Because there is no way you could do a good Pac-Man.
Oh my lord!
The same with Sonic.
So how would a Pac-Man? Yeah. So live action
Pac-Man. Basically, he's in the cheese factory and Pac-Man is a cheese wheel in this film, and he gets mutated. And the cheese factory's haunted by ghosts. And he has to go around and he gets rid of the ghosts by eating them in the cheese factory.
I can imagine the motion poster right now. It's like the factory at nighttime, and then you just see like Sonic around the machinery.
And then at the end of the film, it turns out it was all just the cheesemaker's dream. He wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I've fallen asleep while making this cheese wheel." Cheese is supposed to give you bad dreams, so the whole film is basically an advert telling you not to eat cheese before bed.
And who's playing Pac-Man?
Come on. Actually,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, I'm going to throw you off this week.
Know.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh, the voice acting.
Yes, the voice act. But Benedict.
Okay, and then give me one ghost.
Benedict Cumberbatch is playing the cheesemaker who wakes up at the end of the film. So,
give me one ghost. We'll cast the rest of the ghosts later. Who's the?
While making the film, Kanye West tweeted me, so I told him he could be in the film, and he's playing one of the ghosts. He's the big ghost boss called Yeezus.
Right, all right.
All the other ghosts are played by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. All of them.
Okay, and then Harrison, what childhood memory is Hollywood rooting for me next summer?
Well, this might not be your personal childhood memory, but slightly controversially, I'll tell you something that Hollywood is never going to get right because they haven't gotten it right for the last 40 years. Godzilla.
Oh, we totally skipped that this week
They have
too.
no
we'll
understanding
Godzilla trailer next week,
of
by the
what
way.
Godzilla is about, why it's charming, why people like it. They keep turning and going, guys, it's going to be this amazing action movie about this huge giant dinosaur that shoots lasers. No, if it isn't about a man in a rubber suit, it's not a Godzilla movie, and it's not any good.
And if there isn't some underlying message about environmental environmental pollution, then it's not a Godzilla movie.
Godzilla's a classically preachy franchise. You know, the whole thing is anti-nuclear war was the entire point. Which, if you're Japan, you can kind of understand.
No, yeah, absolutely. So what message? So let's just say they're rebooting. So this Godzilla thing does its thing. We have the King of the Monsters. He crosses over with King Kong. It turns out that it bombs at the box office. We have to reboot it for the umpteenth time. What is the new Godzilla gonna be? How are they? Who's directing it? And why is this Godzilla movie just not gonna work?
Because they're gonna do the same thing. I don't know. Because
they're just gonna
they'll do what they always do, and then like, we don't know what to do with this. We wanted to make money. Get Michael Bay, and then like let's give Godzilla a racist accent. So, they'll just go even worse than they are now. Like Godzilla. Have you noticed how like the Godzilla movies keep doing this weird thing where they go like, okay, we find the actor from the most like popular TV show, and then we'll put them in Godzilla. From Bryan Cranston.
Ferris Bueller.
And now we've got, I've forgotten her name, but we've got 11
Millie
in
Bobby
there.
Brown.
Oh yeah.
For
little
no,
girl. Yeah.
why is she in a Godzilla movie? Like, I wasn't there sitting there watching her, like destroy things with her mind, and Stranger Things going, do you know what? She could take on a giant lizard.
And that is the Fulcrum Report for this week, guys. Okay, so oh geez. Okay, so we have Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we have Pac-Man Cheese Factory, and we have Godzilla. I'm actually gonna give it to I'm sorry, Gilbert. I'm giving it to Marshall. There's a realized.
Yes.
God.
He figured out how to shoehorn Pac-Man into a story that just doesn't belong. Because I think that's what they're gonna do with Sonic. I think actually Sonic has nothing to do with anything, and he comes into the real world, and it's just like, yo, I'm here, and then I got to go fast, and he's gonna have an adventure with some kid in his teens. Oh God!
Damn it! I'm gonna win one of these eventually.
Yeah, so Marshall, you win this week. Sorry, Gilbert, excellent. You're getting there. But cool.
It's like soon, young grasshopper. Soon.
Yes. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Gilbert, thank you so much for being on the show. It's always a blast having you on. You wanna give in some plugs and maybe tell us what you've been working on this week? Give us some updates.
Well, yeah, I finally got Sam's audio in for Qui-Gon Jinn, so I'm actually, as soon as we get off here, I'm gonna be working on it all day today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be seeing about this episode. So yeah, so be watching out for that.
Okay, cool. And then yeah, we're getting super psyched for that. Thank you, Gilbert, so much for you doing excellent work on that project, and it's gonna be quite something special here on the Fulcrum or on the comic experience, guys. Thanks, Gilbs. Cool. Thank you, Machinima Man. You can't stop, dude. Do you literally sit in bed at night awake thinking of how to win the Fulcrum Report every week?
You know, I wake up every day with a smile on my face and stroke my trophy next to my bed. It's the 2-time back-to-back.
What's the trophy in the shape of? Is it Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yes, it's a gold sculpt, a gold bust of Benedict Cumberbatch with my name engraved.
No, it's a giant gaping butthole. Just like Marshall.
But thank you, Marshall, so much for being on this week. Do you have any plugs for us before you get bullied anymore?
I do actually. Yeah, I'm working on a little project with Daniel called Santa Claus versus the Illuminati. That is out tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you so much, Marshall, for being
on. No problem.
Oh, thank you. Harrison, thank you so much for being on, sir. It's always a blast. Do you have any plugs this week for us?
I too am also in Santa Claus versus the Illuminati alongside Marshall. So who are you playing, Marshall?
I'm playing Namor.
Oh, Namor. Oh yeah, yes, of course, yes, yeah. I'm quite happy to be Charles Xavier.
Oh, I'm checking this out, yo. This sounds dope as hell.
Yeah, it's gonna be short, but it's gonna be really fun.
Cool. Yeah, no, that sounds super awesome. And then whenever Sheev Palpatine comes up, you're a Sheev on the show, so I'm really hoping that he will pop up and I get to hear you in one of these voice dubs, sir.
I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. My name is Sebastian. You can follow us all on Twitter and some of us on vice versa. Some of us on Twitter and Instagram. You know what I'm saying. I'm tired. It's been a long week. But don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell notification so when the Fulcrum Reports come out, we are going at them strong, and we still come out with these episodes every week. So it's awesome that you guys can all pitch in and help. And comment below, get in there on the social media, and let's do it. Fulcrum Report, episode 22, out.
Whoa!
I'll tell you why she's Godzilla. There. Secret twist ending. Stranger Things is in the same universe as Godzilla.
No. And then Scully and Mulder show up at the...
And then Thanos turns up.